um, I'm trying not to be like all, no, poor me or whatever, but I'm this next story, it's kind of messed up, and I don't want to be sitting here like why, but whatever. Um, I was pretty young. I was small, maybe 4 or 5. I know something was going on at the hall, and at the hall, like some event was going on, like Christmas or New Year's or Halloween, something was going on. There was only me and my brother Ron home. We get a phone call from the small hall, and they're saying there's still lots of goodies here. Like when they have events there, everybody brings stuff. So the person on the phone told Ron there's still so many goodies and drinks and stuff here. So why don't you come down and pick some up, because they don't know what to do with it. Ron was like, oh, like he's looking at me like he doesn't want to drag me down there or something. Um, but like all these goodies sound good, like we're just kids. He hangs up the phone with this person, and like not even a second later, there's a knock at the door. Ronnie goes and checks the door, and I'm not gonna name this person, and I'll say why when I'm like near the end. You'll get it. My auntie is at the door, and it looks like she's in a rush, like she's walking somewhere or something. And Ron's like, "Oh, hey, can you sit with Melissa for a while? They just called. They said there's a bunch of stuff at the hall, and they asked if we wanted some, and I want to go get some. Can you just sit like 5 minutes? I'm just gonna run down there. I'll run back. I won't like." And they're like, "Yeah, I actually came to ask to use the phone." And Ron was like, "Yeah, use the phone. Do you mind?" And they're like, "No, no, go ahead." Ron's like, "I'll be right back." And he's putting on his shoes, and he runs out, and I can hear him running down the road. I crawl off the couch, and I'm going towards my auntie. And like in my mind, like I'm gonna go sit on her lap. I'm gonna go hug her. I'm gonna get some cuddles. I'm just a kid. I'm like 5'4" or whatever. Her face turns like stone cold. She grabs me from like back here. She grabs me and runs me into the kitchen, to the stairs, to the basement. She threw me down the stairs. I go like I hit the bottom. You get to the bottom of the stairs, there's a room right in front. And it's at the front of the house. There's a window there. There's a street light that has light coming in. And I go into that room. I go off to the side, and I'm curled up in that corner trying to hide, because I don't like, she hucked me down the stairs. She's gonna hurt me. I'm hiding in that corner, and I'm covering my mouth, and I'm covering my head and everything, and I could feel like a big lump forming on my head, and I'm like leaning up against the wall, and I'm just like, I don't know what I did. What did I do to make her so mad? And I'm sitting there thinking, when is Ronnie coming back? I want Ronnie. And I'm wondering what's going on, why I'm downstairs. It's completely dark, and there's just that street light streaming in, and it's coming towards me, so I'm not really in the dark, but where the light isn't going in that corner, like it's really pitch black. I'm sitting there trying to be quiet. I can hear her on the phone and everything. And I'm just like trying to be quiet, trying to be still so I don't anger her again, so I don't trigger what was triggered for her to come running down the stairs and start beating me. I'm sitting there trying to figure out what happened, figure out why it happened, and all of a sudden in that dark corner, I see blink, blink, looking at me. And I'm like tiny, I'm freaking out, and I'm like in as much into that corner as I can get. I can't really say it was a shadow person because the eyes looked so real. The eyes were yellow, sickly yellow, like an animal eye, but like a human shaped. I don't know how to explain it. And there was shifts of red, like bright red, and a scarling brow, and the rest of it looked like shadow. And then I could hear it breathing, and it turns and looks at me, and it says in this really deep, gross voice, "Do you want me to go get her? Do you want me to drag her down here? I'll drag her down here and she'll never come back up. Do you want me to hurt her too?" I'm only 4 or 5. I don't know about like this whole revenge thing. I don't know about what he's asking me. I can't comprehend is what I'm trying to say. And I start covering my ears because I don't want to hear it. It sounds like upset words and it's not making sense to me. I'm covering my ears and I'm looking at the wall and I'm like side-eyeing it, and I don't want to look at it, and I don't want to look away because I'm picturing like if I'm closing my eyes and I open, he's gonna be right in my face, and that freaks me out. So I keep trying to look at it, and he's like moving, like he's breathing really hard. I can hear him breathing really hard, and he looks at me and he was like, "Do you want me to drag her down here? I'll make her pay. She'll never come back." And then all of a sudden I can hear Ronnie's feet in the dirt, like his footsteps getting closer to the house, and I wanted to just run right there, but I was scared. And I was like, I'm gonna wait until he gets closer, and I was like getting ready to get up, and this thing's like he's turned, but he's looking at me like this. So he's watching me, and I'm like, I could hear Ronnie get to the porch, and I start crawling. And mind you, right in front of me, and then there's a door here, and then right across from that door on the other side of the room, that thing's sitting. So I'm like going closer, I'm going closer. He's right here. I have to get really close to him to get out of the room. And I'm shaking because I don't know if this thing's gonna grab me or not. I get to the stairs, and everything's hurting, mind you, because I fell down the stairs. It hurts to be on my knees because my stairs are wood and everything. And I'm crawling up the stairs, and I'm like, this thing's right behind me, and I'm like, I can't stop moving. Everything hurts, but I can't stop moving. So when you get to the top of the stairs, you can go this way. There's a kitchen, or you can go this way and it's a dining room. And then there's a wall dividing the dining room and the stairs. So on that wall, that's where our dining room table was like right up against. So I turn the corner and I go underneath the dining room table because, mind you, this lady is still in our house. And, like, I'm either afraid of this lady or I'm afraid of that fucking thing downstairs. So I crawl underneath the dining room table where she can't get to me or anything. And Ronnie opens the door. He's talking to her. He's like, yeah, they got a lot of stuff down there. You should go check it out. They still have some stuff. They still have goodies and everything. And she's like, I'm going to go uptown or something, she was saying. And she's like, Ron's like, oh, where's Melissa? And she's there. She's playing in the kitchen. And she's like, I'm going to go now. And she left. Ronnie came in and he's like, where the hell is she, type of thing. He found me underneath the dining room table, and he looks underneath and he's like, what the hell? He's like, what are you doing down there? And I was just looked at him and I didn't know what to say. Like, what? I'm 4.5 years old or whatever. I didn't know how to word it. I just kind of sat there and I looked at him and I was like, I don't know. I didn't say anything. And he was like, he pulls up the box and it's a wagon wheel box. And he's like, oh, we got some cupcakes, we got some goodies, and we got a couple juice boxes, and we got some other stuff, but we don't got no wagon wheels. And he was laughing. But that was like the only box they had there for him to pick up some goodies and stuff. And he was like, yeah, come on, let's go watch TV. And he turns on the TV and everything. And so I crawl out from under there because I don't want to be like just around the corner from whatever the hell that is downstairs. I go onto the couch and I'm laying there like, I'm hurt. I'm so hurt. And I'm looking around and Ronnie's looking at me like. So in between videos, I told him about it, and I told this story the way I'm saying it to you guys. And Ronnie's mad. He's like, you can't trust anybody. And I said, Ron, like, I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly. I don't know if I'm justifying it or anything. But from what I can remember, she came to the house like the next day, like in the morning or something. And she was the auntie that I remember. Loving, caring. I loved her hugs. And that's why I went to her that night. She came in and I looked at her and I was like, what is she going to say to my parents? Like, was I a bad kid? I don't know what happened. She's like, oh, not. I love you. Oh, pretty girl. And come hug. And she was like, oh, like she's so loving. And Ron kind of looks and he's like, he said, do you think it took advantage of the phone call we got? Turned into Auntie. And threw you downstairs so it could be downstairs with you. That freaked me out. Like if I said, yeah, go get her. Like, go ahead and like have at her. Like it would have grabbed me or something because I'm complying with it or something. But that was like what Ronnie got out of the story. But I was just a kid. Like I said, I was 4 or 5. I don't know anything about revenge. I don't know anything about like tit for tat or whatever. I just sat there quiet and listened to everything and like got away when I could. And that's the story about the visitor.